Cleveland. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Washington Commanders.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
Young wasting no time, right to the air.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Warriors, 70. Hey.
First play, and Young is going to throw it.
And his first pass is incomplete.
You talk about this Washington defense.
They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
It's Young on first down.
Targets Miller here on the out route. He's got him.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
at the 42-yard line. Young to throw it. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
2nd down and a run by Robinson.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Young on 3rd down.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quan Martin.
And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, this defense for the Falcons, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
That's out wide here for Robinson.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. Hal's going to throw it. Oh, that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
So here we go, 4th down. Howell working the middle of the field. He's got a man complete. And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington first down. And an exhale there as they convert on 4th.
That was a pretty good job by the defense, I thought, right? I mean, they had to go to their check down, but still were able to get it done for the first.
Agreed. Anytime you can force him to come back to a receiver that's a little bit shorter in the route, you've done your job on defense, but still, they pick up the first down and get a fresh set.
Huge 4th down conversion. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr., his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A play fake. Now Young. Short throw to Smith. Powers through it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw, Young. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You talk about this Washington defense.
And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL. You know they have their sights set on being number 1, looking for a big game today.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here is 3rd and 5. Now Young going to move him around. On third down, Robinson.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
50 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
A give left side to Robinson.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Young now.
Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Young to throw it. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out.
And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Here's 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And this is going to be back-to-back tackles for a loss here as the Falcons defense yet again drops him behind the line.
Falcons, nothing.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
Rodgers on the return. He goes 67 yards on the punt return. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
And that jumps the excitement level up a few notches, doesn't it? What a big-time punt return for a touchdown. Now their cohorts on the special team side, they've got to add the PAT.
That would be the equalizer. A try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Little bootleg here. Howell rolling to his right. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Throwing here, Howell. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Off play action. It's Howell. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Following the interception, Young. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Clark Phillips Phillips has got it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Young Way Koo to kick off for Atlanta.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where...
It got his man complete. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Oh, I don't know if he's sensing contact to come or what, but that's a ball he'd love to have back. That could have gone for big yardage, but it just didn't want to stay in his hands. That's a tough break.
On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons. Take it at the 37. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on third down.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and a yard.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Bad news, they didn't get it on 2nd down. The good news is they still only need about 3 or 4 inches here on 3rd.
And the good play callers have looked at both situations. They thought to themselves, okay, this call, I pick up the 1st down.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Falcons are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
On the set.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10.
19 tight. 19 tight. Ready.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. With 3rd down coming up.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The offense on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. And they just get the play off. Now Young. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get him the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Second and 10. Second down throw for Howell. Open man is the tight end, John Bates.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They run. Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Now the ball comes loose.
You want to talk about the proverbial deer in the headlights? That's exactly what he was when he got the ball. Went to hit a lane and get upfield, and all he saw, extra defenders bearing down on him. Perfect time to dial up the blitz. An excellent call.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge, because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Cut 19. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. 18 Ramley. 18 Ramley. Check Matt. Check Matt. On the ball. On the ball. Check up.
Out of the gun, it's Young. Trying to lay one up deep.
Young is intercepted for the 3rd time this game. And the Commanders are going to have it here just past the 25.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Howell try to get his offense to hurry up and get set. And they go play action with Howell.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he is across midfield from one 49 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this will be a 45-yard attempt.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will do it for this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Al now to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Still going inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. 76 yards. And the Commanders come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Slide for the PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because they don't get some kind of points here. That next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game. Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for them so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Short throw caught by Pitts. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point of the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
3rd and 2. Here's Howell. That is caught.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
The 20.
Now he's loose again.
Touchdown, Washington.
Sam Howell
with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of it? Being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly
He's
didn't work.
lost.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 40, right around the 39. So solid starting field position.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Steps away to his left. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here's Young. They'll indeed go for it. Going deep this time for Miller. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Flushed out right. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Falcons get a bit closer.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. Slings this deep from McLaurin. That's caught inside the 20. A huge play there for Washington. 64 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one onto the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Back to throw, Howell.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Robinson up the middle.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Well, they'll let McLaurin try and run.
That is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Terry McLaurin,
a 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
And to me, the key to a wide receiver run like that is getting around the first edge guy. It's often like a punt returner. Make that first guy miss, because if you can do that successfully and get upfield, we know good things can happen. He's able to take that one into the end zone.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this is a situation where, as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
Off the play fake, Young. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now. but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded at the 33. 44-yard punt, return of 9.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hand off now to Robinson.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's Hal to throw on 2nd down.
Flush to his right. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Zach Harrison in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Joey Sly on for the Commander field goal. A 51-yard attempt.
Sly able to put this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
But what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Young, he's going to change it up.
2nd and 6.
Cowboy 80. Ready, right?
Young to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
go now.
This offense so far on third down, just one conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 6. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Going up top for Miller. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37th. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Robinson, he'll try the left side, and he'll take this down to the 33. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to take it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Running the sweep with McLaurin. And shutting him off. Now open field. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Here's Howell. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. This is a 49-yard attempt. Right hash. Sly able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter. Tackle made by Chase Young.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Now 2nd and 9. The Young keeps it, moving right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The keeper there good for about 9, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and inches. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to...
There he goes, left side. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 48 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Come on. Hey. Warriors, 17. 18, Pioneer. Go.
On 1st and 10, Young. Touchdown! Kyle Pitts, 27 yards. And the Falcons are able to cut into that deficit. The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2.
And Young's going to throw for this.
Forced out to his left. And this is going to be intercepted.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here.
Sly able to put this one through. Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. Ready.
Young on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. Young will set to throw. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll throw again. Young. And he's going to go down. sacked back at the 13-yard line. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Now here's Young. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Young with it, third and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Commanders are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for them. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence, actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense.
I've been going hard from the night into the daylight, telling them all that yesterday's price is not the same price. Eating up wings for breakfast, I can tell you what it tastes like. Wake up and I see red and I still don't got no brake lights. Yeah, feeling super fly. I look in the mirror, see ambition in my eyes. Got more than one formula, they love the way I drive. Yeah, I've been a prize, there's no need to be surprised. Baby, I'm a go-getter, go-getter. Yeah, you better go figure, go figure. Baby, I'm a go-getter, go-getter. Yeah, you better go figure, go figure. Try and get a big stack in my bag. Boy, you know I'm getting to it, it's like that. Try and get a big stack in my bag. Yeah, you know I'm getting to it, it's like that, like that. Hey, never feeling the pressure, please not at all. I walk in when it's crunch time, leaves in the fall. Woman on me, only hit my name on a roll call. It's like there is no ground beneath my feet, I got no flaws. Still humble, but just don't get it confused. You know who I am, there's no need to introduce. I am one of one, they can't stand it, but it's true. Sicker than the average, ain't no challenge that's immune.